was a boy, lost his way, looking for someone to play.
Many valuable things might happen in our lives, and friendship is surely including as one of them. Hello, my name is Edgar A. Guest. I was born on August 20th, 1881 in Birmingham, England. 10 years after I was born, my family moved to Detroit, Michigan. When I was 11 years old, I worked every day after school to help support my family after my dad lost his job. In 1895, I was hired as a copy boy for the Detroit Free Press, where I would work for almost 65 years. Then I dropped out of my high school and worked full-time at the newspaper when my dad passed away. Then I moved my position from a copy boy to a job in the news department. And then in 1898, my first poem was published, and in 1904, my weekly column called Chaff was published, and they became daily afterwards. I published more than 20 volumes of poetry and have written about 11,000 poems. Most of my poems are inspirational and show optimistic view of life, because I think that the best way to cheer people up is to read something positive and cheerful. So I took simple things that happen in everyday life, both happen to me and happen to other people. Then I created rhymes out of them. Most of my poems I used repetition, imagery, and symbolism to help readers with their reading. I used lots of rhymes, as you can see from most of my poems. There are rhymes in every line, and as well as several assonances. I use them because it makes my poem flow in the perfect rate. And I just want you guys to know that I didn't write my poem as the spirit of pride, but I wrote them from a desire to inspire other people. For my thesis statement, I use repetition or anaphora, imagery, and symbolism to represent that a good friendship is the most valuable treasure. Okay, so my first poem. First of all, I will talk about my first topic sentence, which is that I use repetition or anaphora and imagery to show the aspects of a good friendship, which considers as the most valuable treasure, through the poem called A Friend. A friend who understands you and always stay by your side, no matter what, is the most valuable treasure and the most valuable friend. Let me read out my poem. The poem called A Friend. A friend is one who stands to share your every touch of grief and care. He comes by chance but stays by choice. Your praises he is quick to voice. No grievous fault or passing whim can make an enemy out of him. And though your need be great or small, his strength is yours throughout it all. No matter where your path may turn, your welfare is his chief concern. No matter what your dream may be, he prays your triumph soon to see. There is no wish your tongue can tell, but what it is your friends as well. The life of him who has a friend is double guarded to the end. Right, okay, so in the first stanza of the poem called A Friend, I explain what a friend is, and it is easy for us to meet many people in our lives, but a friend is the only one who will live and stick with you afterwards. Then in the second stanza, I try to explain that a true friend will pass through painful and problems and painful situation with you no matter how hard the obstacle is. A true friend will help you through the way. And then in the third stanza, I elaborate that A true friend will not judge or care about what have happened to you or what have you decided, but because they will always stay by your side as well as supporting you. Lastly, in the fourth stanza of this poem, I want to prove that with a friend's help, you can pass through many obstacles rather than yourself alone. As you can see in the poem, I use repetition for the word no matter in the third stanza in order to emphasize that your true friend will not care about your past, but only care about the present, which I think is the meaning of a real or a good friendship that is valuable enough for you. Moreover, in the last line of the fourth stanza, I use imagery for the word double-guarded to create a picture or idea in readers' minds that you may get or receive many advice and suggestions from your true friend, which cause you to be more secure in your decisions. Moving on to my second poem, by the use of symbolism in the poem called A Boy and His Dog, I help readers get the idea of how a good friendship could benefit you, could benefit the readers, or could benefit yourself. So, my introduction. A person who really cares and wishes the best thing for you is a good friend, a good and a true friend to be specific, which also considered as your valuable treasure. Okay, I'll read the poem out for you. A boy and his dog make a glorious pair. No better friendship is found anywhere. For they talk and they walk and they run and they play, and they have their deep secrets for many a day. And that boy has a comrade who thinks and who feels, who walks down the road with a dog at his heels. He may go where he will and his dog will be there, may revel in mud and his dog will not care. Faithful, he'll stay for the slightest command, and bark with delight at the touch of his hand. Oh, he owns a treasure which nobody steals, who walks down the road with a dog at his heels. No author can lure him away from his side, he's proof against riches and station and pride. Fine dress does not charm him, and flattery's breath is lost on the dog for his faithful death. He sees the great soul which the body conceals. Oh, it's great to be young with a dog at his heels. So, I will explain the poem now. So, in the first stanza of the poem, I mostly explain about the relationship between the boy and his dog, that they are really matched to each other, and their friendship is the best in their point of views. In the fourth lines of the first stanza, it shows that they both are really close to each other, as they have the secrets only they know. Before this stanza ends, in the last two lines of the first stanza, I explain that the boy has a true friend who always stays by his side no matter what. Then in the second stanza, I try to make the readers see that wherever wherever the boy goes, the dog will be with him, which shows that the dog will always stay by his side, just like in the first stanza says. Then in the second line, it shows that the dog doesn't really care about the bad thing that might happen on the way, because he chooses to stay with the boy. And then in the fifth line, I try to show that the friendship between the boy and the dog cannot be stolen by other people. In the last stanza of this poem, there is nothing else can lead your true friend away from you, because your true friend won't care about your status or your pride, meaning that your true friend will only care about who you are, not the thing that decorate you or the outside look of you. As you can see, in this poem, I use symbolism to show readers a clearer version of explanation. Dog in this poem is a symbol of loyalty, faithfulness, and protection. All of these are good personalities. If you have a friend with these personalities, without any doubts, you have already found your own treasure. I also use symbolism for the word treasure, which consider as a good friendship in this case. Cannot be stolen by other people because you and your friend have already built a strong bond between each other, which is hard to break. To compare these two poems, first of all, these two poems are explaining about a good and valuable friendship. However, they provide their information in different point of views. So for the first poem, a friend provide an overall explanation about a good friendship, for example, aspects of a good friendship and the benefits you may get from this good and real friendship. While the second poem, A Boy and His Dog, is kind of like an example of a good friendship which shows a closer and deeper meaning of a good relationship between you and your friends. So, in conclusion, repetition, anaphora, imagery, and symbolism are used by Edgar A, which is me, in order to show that the most valuable treasure is a good friendship. Before we end this record, from the use of repetition or anaphora, which emphasize the meaning of the word, imagery, which help us create pictures in readers' heads, and symbolism to give a hint for readers about what they will be reading. Those literary devices show clearly that a good friendship can benefit you in many ways. Be aware that a good friendship is not easy to find, but once you've found it, preserve it because it is your most valuable treasure.
I'm just a little bit caught in the middle of life.